Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and this is like the third time I'm trying to do this without laughing and getting through things and stumbling over my words. I felt very moved to pull a card today and to have it recorded. So I'm going to do that. I've cleaned my deck, I've shuffled it, and I am pulling from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot by F. Fiona. And these are my cards. They're the beautiful round blue ones. And here we go. And I'm cutting. There we go. And the card pulled. Whoa, it's the Seven of Blades. Seven of Blades. Seven of Blades. And now I'm going to see what F. Fiona has to say about this card. Let me go to the front of the book instead of trying to find it on my own. Okay. Seven of Blades is meditation, page 84. Hold on. I'm getting there. Okay, got it. Meditation, Seven of Blades. The practice of meditation is a discipline that heals and strengthens the mind. It can be a psychic journey into dreams, memories, and alternative realities, which give us insight into deeper parts of our beings. Meditation can gift us with astounding past life experiences, or it can be a centering process that stabilizes and harmonizes. It expands our perspectives by distancing us from painful realities, as well as being a method to retreat and detach from the pressures of living. Focusing our minds with meditation is one of the tools of magic and has a strong connection to the priestess and star card. Sometimes we stay out of touch with this aspect of ourselves because we fear the letting go of this earth reality that is required for experiencing other realms. If you get this card, you may want to develop or sharpen these powers. Reversed or tilted Seven of Blades can spaced out mental chaos, forgetfulness, or an avoidance of practical concerns. That was a very deep card, and I am being drawn to read the next card, which is Chokmah, Decisions, Eight of Blades. Chokmah, also spelled Chokhmah, the Hebrew word for wisdom, is the goddess we invoke to make wise decisions. One of the most effective ways to create reality is deciding to take action by making a dynamic move forward. On the other hand, sitting in one place, choosing to remain undecided, can be the most powerful decision you can make. Decisions are sometimes avoided and postponed because of ignorance about the subject and fear of the consequences. In our Eight of Blades, we portray the scythe or moon-shaped edge of the mind that are involved in the mental process. We can also invoke the Wise One or the Aether Arcana to show us that spirit and heart are important elements in making decisions. If Chokmah is reversed, please examine your motives to see if your indecisiveness is an attempt to manipulate others, attract attention, or gain power. Excuse me for rubbing my eye. I just want to say these are two very powerful cards. And I'm going to share with you what the Blades Arcana is about, because it'll help with what I'm about to say. Arcana of Blades is the element of air. The blade suit is the element of air. And traditionally in any other deck, this would be the element of swords. So, this is the arcanum that represents the element of air, the mental world, and all communication. Our thoughts are like cutting edges in the unseen realm. They sort, discern, define, analyze, focus, categorize, and discriminate. Our breath carries the words and songs that communicate these thoughts. Blades also represent political thought and action. The witch carries her blade or athem for cutting spells and as a practical tool. By learning to direct our thoughts and create the visual images we choose in our mind's eye, we learn conscious creation of reality. It is curious that the older tarot systems associate this realm with struggle and place so many painful and difficult images in their air suit. Perhaps this was a way of showing how much of our oppression originates in mental attitudes. I feel, however, that each element has the potential for both positive and negative energy. So I have redistributed these troubled energies throughout the 4 elemental suits. Consequently, the suit of blades shows many changes. In patriarchal myth, woman's intelligence was systematically distorted. In our society, mental agility traditionally belongs to men, and a smart woman is seen as a threat. Women in turn have adjusted to this arrangement by remaining dumb and sweet, or smart and tough. To think like a man implies coldness or lack of feeling, or else requires sneakiness and deception. In our search for positive mythical images of female mental powers, I made some remarkable discoveries and uncovered some magnificent air goddesses, such as Hina or Ishel. It is a wonderful reclamation to use such images to represent our minds. Independence and mental creativity are some of our most effective tools for change. Oppression often begins with the mind, whereby images and thought patterns of victimization and powerlessness are implanted in our psyche from childhood onwards. By the same token, it is very difficult to control people who are strong and independent thinkers. And I want to show you on the page here. It has 2 battle axes and a knife. And I want to say that, let me get clear here, focus. Both of these cards and what I just read had to do with meditation, discernment, clarity of thought, and a stillness that takes place in making decisions and in making choices. And it spoke of knives, and I showed you the battle axes. The battle axe is a special tool for a woman to wield, especially in her psychic realm when she's dealing with her own demons and her own issues. And one of the things that really helps me is I use my imagination as a tool to focus in on learning certain aspects of myself and having conversations with those aspects, really ascertaining and discerning what I feel, what I think, the truth, the reality of it, and also bringing the awareness that I am a multidimensional being. I'm not just an earth-bound spirit, so to speak. I am multidimensional. So, understanding that, meditation helps to ground me. Meditation helps me to focus and bring my intent to a certain point where if I need to cut something off, I can cut something off. If I need to add something to it, I can add something to it. Meditation helps to ground you. It also helps you to, as I was reading earlier, to let go of this realm so that you can free yourself and be in your mind space, whatever place you create for that. You make that into being. You visualize it and you manifest it, that place in your mind. And you sit there and you be there in that place. And you allow the energies that are there to feed you, to nourish you, to guide you, to groom you, to do whatever they need to do, and you decide what they do. And you decide whether you're going to be a victim, whether you're going to be the hero, whether you're going to be the animal, whether you're going to be whatever it is in your meditation. It is your realm. Learn to use it. It don't cost you nothing to sit down for a few minutes and daydream, and to, when things in this reality get too bad, instead of being wounded and wounding others, go to that place inside. Learn to tune into it. Learn to hone it. Learn to manifest it into this dimension and this reality. Learn to be comfortable where you need to be comfortable, because you're coming from an authentic point from within yourself. And that's all I'm going to say about that card and Hakma. And I want you to do some. It always amazes me how things just come together, seemingly on their own and synchronistically and everything. When you ask for truth and you ask for a certain clarity, it comes, and it comes in all kinds of ways. And you just have to be open to receive it. You just really have to be open to receive what comes, and with no judgments, with understanding that when you ask for something, use your intent and ask for it to be in your highest interest. And when you say a prayer, or when you speak something into being, say, if this is in my highest good, let it happen. Or let this happen if it's in my highest good. Always, if it's in my highest good, if it's in the highest good for yourself, if for your authentic self, however you choose to phrase that, always let it be for the betterment of you. Learn that the mind is so powerful. It is so powerful. We bring about so many different reality and truths simply because of the way we think of what we create in our mind. When we have fear and tension and worry, we feed that energy, and we create situations that cater to those emotions, those kind of fears that have taken place in mind. So we really need to learn to focus our mind, learn to meditate, learn to go there for answers. I go there for answers. I go there and I let my ancestors speak to me. I let my spirit animals speak to me. I let angels come through and speak to me. Always in my highest good and always of the highest vibration. That's what you specify. Be sure to specify who you want to communicate with and what you're inviting in and what you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable seeing or knowing certain things, state it, and you won't see them, and that won't be a part of your experience. Don't be afraid to, as the card said, step outside of this earthly realm. Because to do so is to miss so much of life. You miss so much of life if you just limit your perception to this earthly realm. Because there's so much, there's as much unseen as there is seen. And when you can get to a point within your own psyche where you're open to seeing and communing with and understanding the multiplicity of connections and the way the dots connect, no matter where they are in the scheme of things, just how they all come together, and that that's by design. That was by divine wisdom. That's not something that just randomly happened. You don't randomly say, I'm going to cook some soup and just randomly throw stuff in there and that's your soup. No. You know I'm going to put water in here. I'm going to put this vegetable in here. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And this is going to be my soup. And it's going to have this kind of flavor because this is what I've put in it. It's the same thing with your meditation and with your thinking. If you are always thinking negative, if you're always judging someone else, if you're always finding yourself less than and not worthy of, or a second-class citizen, or however you want to see yourself, victimized or less than, then that is where you're vibrating at. And that is what you're drawing to you. Those are the situations, that is the energy. And those thoughts just keep attracting more thoughts like that. So step out of that. Snap out of it. Walk away from it. Learn to let go of the attachments to the victimization personality and suffering and the way of thinking. And when you hear people speak of someone or a child with a star quality or stellar, just they shine or they have gifts or they're talented or so and so is going to do this and that, they're destined for it because they know this, and they shine. There is an essence and we're all born with it. And some have people in their lives that fan that and that encourage that flame. And that flame engulfs them and they burst forth and they're meteoric. Not meteoric. Where's the word? They're like supernovas. They shine and illuminate everything. And everybody wants to bask in their glory and be around them because it is so different. The environment, the vibration, just the energy of this person is different just because of the way they think, just because of the way they believe, just because of the way they perceive things and the way they think about things is different. It's different because they're coming at it from a perspective of inner confidence and a connection to who they are, to their authentic self. Not to the doubts, not to the worries, not to if somebody gonna like me or if somebody ain't gonna like me. It's you've got to know yourself. You've got to know yourself and be in love with yourself. And you've got to explore yourself. And that comes with meditation as well. When you meditate, you find aspects of yourself that you had no clue, about. I mean, there are parts that come forth that amaze you if you allow it to, if you want it to. Nothing's just going to jump out and get you when you're meditating. You know, that's not what happens. But when you want to connect with the higher beings and the higher realms, you just sit still and you allow it. And you trust the process. And you trust what you receive. And don't worry if you're making it up or if you're not making it up or where this is coming from. This is the small voice. This is the spirit voice. This is the voice of those that have been here, that know, that have passed on. They may not have the physical form, you know, that we do, that we expect, but they're here. And they're here for our benefit because we are a part of them and they are a part of us. And that's all I'm going to do about meditation. So I'm very thankful to F. Fiona, Morgan, and Daughters of the Moon Tarot. And again, this is the Seven of Blades. And I also read the Eight of Blades, which was the Hawkma card. And if you follow me on Facebook, you know that right now I'm going through, I guess you could call it my quote-unquote Hebrew period, my Kabbalah period. I am finding so much that is just blowing my mind, is the only thing I can say, because it really is. I'm getting whole new downloads and understandings about Christianity and about the Christ consciousness and about how things went so wrong because of some greedy people who changed everything around. But everything happens in its own time. And we are in an age, not approaching any longer. We are in an age that is going to bring about the birth of spiritual human beings on one accord. Maybe different beliefs, but still on one accord. And that's going to be a beautiful process and a wonderful journey. But there's also going to be some letting go of the things that we have known and the attachments that we have to those things. And when you have attachments to something, those subconscious thoughts, those subconscious longings, those fears, those inward thoughts, they whisper always in your head. They talk, they speak, they scream, they have fits. But you have to stand up to them, and you have to, don't want to say, you have to reward them and let them know that this is better. This way is better. This new way of understanding, yes, it's different, but it's better. It's going to be better for us, you know, as a being, as a planet, as a part of the universe. It just is. But in order to get there, you have to let go of the past and you have to forgive it. Whatever happened, you have to let it go. I don't want to talk too long. My mother was born, my mother has transitioned. March 21st was her birthday. And I realized for the longest time, this is something I'm going to share and then I'm going to get off, that I have been holding on to her for the longest time. Holding on to the things that she didn't do. Holding on to the things that she did do. Holding on to the right and the wrong and the all of it. And in my holding on to all of this, I was selfish because I didn't allow her to let go and to rise to where she needs to go, to transition to where she needs to go with celebration and with honor. I was so busy grieving and missing her presence and just going through how I processed it, that I didn't know how to process it differently so that it celebrated her life, and once you leave this place, you have paid all your debts. What you did, what you didn't do, what you coulda, woulda, shoulda, all of it. Death is the debt payer for that. But when I try to hold on and keep her here close to me, and that does not benefit her. It does not benefit her soul. It does not benefit her spirit. It does not free her of this realm the way she needs to be freed. So I did ceremony yesterday, did ritual, whatever you want to call it, and I let go. I let go of my physical attachment to her. I let go of my childish longings and anger and all of it. I let it go, and I am thankful for her for being the vessel through which I came through. I am thankful that she is who she was so that I could be who I am, so that I can help my grandchildren, my children, and benefit whoever else wants to listen and grow from it. And I just want to say that transitioning is a hard thing. Death is a hard thing. It is a loss. It is a physical loss. But we have to realize that death is not the end. And, that's what, when Jesus came back and he was resurrected, that's what it was shown. He came back. He didn't look like Jesus when he came back. He looked like he was a stranger. But from the things that he said, they knew that it was Jesus. So, understand that physical death is not the end of things. It's not to be feared, and it's to be celebrated. That life is a gift, it's not a burden. We make it a burden by placing all our baggage and attachments and doubts and fears, and not trusting the divinity within us. We get so far from that energy and from that place, that centering. And that's what meditation also helps us to do. It helps us to get back there and ground ourselves with that spirit energy of just being in the moment of things, being aware, being a part of, but also not a part of. When you meditate and when you're doing it right, your physical body is here, but your mind and your spirit, it expands bigger than this reality, bigger than what your human senses can rationalize, I guess is the word. But it is very deep, and it's a process, and it's something that we all can work on, meditating. And when we learn to meditate, learn that what you think and what you choose to focus on in your meditation, you manifest in your life. You manifest it. And the more you speak it into being here, the more you see it around you. So be very careful of the things that you hold within. Anger, fear, doubt, these kinds of things, let them go as soon as you can. If people bring that to you in your life, let them go as much as you can, or spend as less time with them as you can. Or when you're around them, ground yourself, shield yourself, so you take in only what's in your highest good, and that negative energy doesn't affect you because you don't allow it in. You don't accept it. You deny it. You reject it. And we're saying all that. Going to close now. This again not has been. This is Mother with Wisdom. And I just want to say once again, thank you very much for listening. And I'm so thankful to F. Fiona Morgan for her beautiful, wonderful Daughters of the Moon Tarot deck. And I just want to say namaste and thank you. Be loved and be blessed.